Because
Or Tom, you're too loud.
Yeah.
Really, because I
Iman is
feel like
always.
Tom is standing in like a huge stadium projecting his voice out right now.
He does. He does.
That would be
I think
awesome.
all of us
Super
sound
loud.
like that. I don't know
Right
what's
now, we've
going
all
on
got
with the
some
audio.
reverb going.
I can't get a hold of the station manager at all. I've been trying to since we started talking to each other. Yeah. So woohoo! Yay for us! It's gonna be fun.
Perhaps we're also coming through on Discord.
We are. Hold on. Let me check. And
No, I mean perhaps all of our mics are coming through Discord as well as through TeamSpeak.
I don't think they would be.
It's not showing up that way on my end.
It's not showing up that way on my end.
Well, if people will stop messaging me, I will close out of Discord and check.
All right.
Is that any better? Nope.
No. So everybody out there in the Call to Freedom Discord chat room right now, can you hear us? Do we sound crazy? Is the audio coming through good?
Well, we always sound crazy, but
Right.
we're talking about
I
our
was gonna
audio,
say.
not our hot takes.
Right. But I mean, what I hear is it sounds like everybody's talking to me down in a bucket. Like, hello up there. Duffman, can you hear us? Do we sound good? He's not responding either. Oh, well. All right. Well, hopefully we sound as good as we think we do on any other day. We've got
You mean better.
Right. We've got a lot of really cool stuff coming up today. We're going to have we're going to have the imam. I've spoken about, this guy before. I've known him for quite a few years. He's an imam in California. He's the co-founder of the first Islamic university in the United States, Zaytuni University, and the founder of New Islamic Directions. And he is going to be on tonight. He officiated the Stephen Clark funeral, and he's going to be on telling us about his experience with that. I spoke earlier to you guys when everything was really fresh. It's been a couple of weeks ago. We couldn't, the imam is very, very busy, so we weren't able to get him on immediately. And but I told you about how basically the tayammum and the ghusl, they weren't able to do the ritual washing for the burial because after being shot with 19 of 20 shots, the body was so damaged that it couldn't be ritually washed for burial. So we're actually going to have him on to talk about that. I thought that the fact that I knew the guy who was there would give us an opportunity to really humanize this story in a way that other news outlets didn't have an opportunity to do. And it also puts on record, it gives us a record of the fact that this really did happen. It really was this way. And, some people are just too lazy to read, and some people just don't want to hear it on Twitter. So this is another source. Now, let's see here. Who's got the... Okay, so we've got Chelsea here, and she's got a story about fake news. Why don't you go ahead and take the lead on that, Chelsea?
Sure. Apparently, the government is now going to be taking on fake news. Apparently, they also weren't doing it before. But the story is entitled "Inside the Government Agency Designing Tech to Fight Fake News." So there's a lot of fake news that comes out.
I mean, right off the bat, isn't that a violation of the First Amendment?
How so?
Well, I mean, whether something is true or not is irrelevant from the government's point of view and the right of the press to say it.
True. So I think their intention is to figure out which things are accurate and which things are not. So basically, what is that company? The name is slipping my mind right now. That checks to see if things are false or true.
Snopes.
Thank you. So I think it's basically taking on the role of Snopes. And so they're looking at doctored photos to see if they are on, if they have been doctored or not, doctored audio, doctored video. So just reading a little bit of it.
Well, I would say like the photograph that they're using here, the two photo, the one of her ripping Constitution and one of her ripping apart a gun target.
Right.
That was meant to be a metaphor. I mean, are metaphors just not allowed in American discourse anymore?
It was not meant to be a metaphor, Will. Don't
I
be
see it as a
disingenuous.
metaphor.
People were spreading that all over Facebook, like
I
she
see
was
it as a
really
metaphor.
ripping up the Constitution.
Well, because
Well,
her views
the original
are
intention.
ripping up the Constitution. That's what I'm saying, is it's a metaphor for what she really is doing.
Yeah,
When
but
you
that's
go
not
out
how
and
it
you
was being
actively-
promoted.
That may
Not at
not
all.
be how it was
Come on.
promoted, but for me, if I was the artist who made that, that's what my intention would have been, was this is what she is doing. She is out there actively campaigning against your rights, which are enumerated in this document, and therefore she is tearing up this or at least attempting to get the state to tear it up for her.
And so for listeners out there who can't see the picture that we're all looking at, the Parkland shooting survivor Emma Gonzalez had a photo taken of her ripping up a shooting target. And that was used to say, okay, never again, right? And it was part of this whole Teen Vogue cover and hashtag movement. And then somebody doctored it and showed it as her instead ripping up the Constitution.
Well, I mean,
Somebody being the key word there, because if it was art, somebody would have taken credit for it.
How-
Instead, it was spread like it was a real photograph.
Okay, here's what I think is funny is how do we not know in 2018 that you don't put a picture of you holding a piece of paper in any way, shape, or form on the internet?
That's a really
Seriously?
specific don't do this thing.
Well, no, but it is.
We don't even know in
got-
2017 that representatives of major political parties shouldn't threaten to shoot school board members on Facebook. let's not.
Oh, but I'm ching. Anyway, so yeah, when we get back here, we're going to continue on. We're actually hopefully going to have this audio issue fixed and finally get into the show tonight. This story about fake news tech. When we get back here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of a user's manual for the human experience.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
Welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We're broadcasting live from the VertCoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire, and it is another beautiful day here. So we've been talking about this story here that Chelsea brought in for us about fake news, and I'm going to pass it back over to her. You there, Chelsea?
I am here.
All right.
So this photo that we were talking about with the girl ripping up the Constitution, which wasn't originally ripping the Constitution, is an example of what's known as a deep fake. When people use machine learning algorithms
Giggity, by the way.
Sorry, say that again?
Giggity. Deep
Giggity?
fake. Giggity. Never mind. Go ahead.
Doesn't work out with that echo.
Okay. So people use machine learning algorithms to easily create digital impersonations via photo, video, or audio content. With manipulated media popping up and circulating on social media in recent years, experts are worried about the increasing possibility that these deep fakes will easily dupe the public. I think this part is pretty ironic because, like, this seems like a pretty simple photo manipulation, and so using the term deep fake sounds so, like, entrenched. Which, I don't know, makes it, again, the scare tactics, which Will and I talked about yesterday.
That's correct.
So the U.S. Department of Defense is fighting back. After testing projects like driverless cars and early iterations of Siri, Apple's virtual assistant, years ahead of their release to the public, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency is now taking on fake news. So that's DARPA.
Yep.
The agency was originally formed in 1958. Go ahead.
Did you say that the Department of Defense tested out Siri?
Well, that's what it says.
Is this news to you, Aria? That all these voice recognition
It's another reason
things have
for me
been
to hate
government tested?
Apple.
Yeah. Well, it's not just Apple. It's all they've also texted Alexa and whatever Google's version is.
Well, I don't use that crap, so.
Good. Well, of course you don't, because you understand technology. Anyway, Chelsea, back to you.
So the agency was originally formed in 1958 in response to the successful and unexpected Soviet launch of, of the Sputnik satellite.
Okay.
Sorry, my
DARPA
computer was freaking out for a second.
There. Yeah.
So David Dorman, project manager of DARPA's new media forensics, says, "We have a mission within DARPA to invest in breakthrough technologies that prevent strategic surprise and essentially guarantee national security," which is hilarious in and of itself. Dorman's team of researchers is working to create an automated tool to detect manipulations and then provide detailed information about how a photo, video, or audio file was altered. If our adversaries are able to generate material that can spread quickly, they can generate all of this in a disinformation campaign, Dorman warned.
Caveat, our adversaries, other than the United States government, who is the adversary of most of us on this program, and most of our listeners, and anybody who loves freedom. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, good caveat. So he emphasizes people should always be skeptical that anything they are exposed to online could be challenged in one way or another for reality. NBC News took a look at the technology firsthand, and it goes through some of the things that it can pinpoint, but basically it's just standard mapping of, okay, the JPEG concentration or whatever, like different things are different in one picture versus another, and so they can identify, if images were spliced together or if pieces were added. And so basically, towards the end here, it says, automated tools like these have been in development for about 20 months and will continue to be finessed through 2020. DARPA then hopes to work directly with Silicon Valley tech companies to implement the analytics on their platforms, identifying questionable online content in a matter of seconds. So it seems that their intention is to integrate this into our cell phones and our all of our technology.
Oh, good.
So that we all know, right?
That's exactly what I wanted. I've always wanted more government in my cell phone.
Right?
Because I so trust the government to tell me when stuff is fake.
Because they never create fake stuff of their own accord. They just tell you if it's fake, which is so helpful of them. But it does bring to mind a whole lot of fears, right? So you can worry. I mean, if they're controlling what gets defined as fake news, then that can become politicized, and then fake news is not just a fake photograph. Fake news is often just misinterpretation of facts or leaving facts out or all sorts of other things that this comes nowhere near addressing. But at the end of the day, I think it is quite ironic that the government is attempting to take on something of this.
I think I fixed it.
I think you did.
You
too.
did.
I did.
It's so great.
For some reason, the Aphex codecs and the Talos were both turned up, and for some reason today it's not happy with that, and I don't know why. I don't think it matters if we're going. I mean, I hope we're not like completely dead to some like now the international satellite listeners can't hear us all of a sudden. I hope, but I turned one of them down, and now because I was looking, I was like, well, it sounds like doubling up. Well, maybe if I turn this down, it'll. Oh wow, there it went. So hopefully, I don't get a phone call in a minute. I don't have any blinking lights or anything that says that we're broadcasting dead air on any of our signals. So. Because we have,
that's good.
There's like
I don't know, but it sounds so much better.
It does. There's so many blinking lights here in the studio that tell us like, oh, well, this one you're not getting sound, this you're not getting sound, that you're not getting sound. Maybe there's something that's turned on the mixer that's not supposed to be turned on that was supposed to be turned off. I don't know. I know the dump button's not on right now, so everybody be careful.
Oh no, that could be a disaster.
Wait, what's the dump button?
The dump button is the button that Will uses to cut us off if there's a wordy dirt.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chris dropped one on Tuesday, and I accidentally
Dang
did.
it, Chris.
He did. He said BS and I had to hit him. I had to dump him.
Wait, by hitting?
I thought you meant physically. That would have been better.
Behind
that would have been a better
there's
story.
There's a big red button, and you hit it when you're like, oh,
because they broadcast like
Here
a
it
half
comes.
second behind or whatever.
3.7, C, where the delay.
Yeah.
It's building the delay for me. No, build. Don't exit. Build. Keep it built. Don't come down. Yeah, there we go. but we have like a delay.
In case
so-
anybody was
yeah.
interested in the glories of how radio shows work on this end.
How do I make sure that if we have somebody like who was it that dropped a bunch of that cussed a lot when we had Ryan?
Matt Keenel.
Oh, Matt Keenel. That was
I
another
mean,
one.
after we told him over and over, dude, you are on the air.
Yeah, he dropped the F-bomb like 3 times, and like I've got this thing and it's built up all the way. It's called overkill. So like I have a 4
There's
second
really
delay.
no such thing as overkill when it comes to preventing wordy dirds on this show.
Right.
Tom, you're such a dad.
He is.
Who
he
says
is.
wordy dirts?
All right, we'll be back.
Like my
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs,
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
to random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.FM.
Welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. So we're broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And I'm wondering, are you wanting to get involved in the crypto industry? Do you want to buy in? Have you not had the opportunity to invest, but you'd really like to, but you don't want to sit around reading white papers and candle graphs all day? Well, let me introduce you to Helium.com. Now, Helium is a savings accelerator that's powered by Uphold.com. And, well, the way it works is they've designed a bot, and it watches the values between regular fiats and cryptocurrencies, and then it moves your money when the timing is just right. You just fill up your account using your bank card or a digital wallet, and, well, you just set it and forget it. It's like a crock pot for cryptocurrency. Everything's completely automatic. Helium lets your money move you. So go on over to heliumwithane.com/CTF. That's HELEUM.com/CTF and get a great deal as a thank you for being a Call to Freedom listener. So we moving right along. Now, this is kind of funny to me, and you brought this. This is another story that was brought to us by Chelsea, and you did mention this. It's very funny, when the Muslim ban, the executive order for the Muslim ban was signed, that was done with like big cameras, like basically any bill that is like, hey, Republican racist based. Red meat right here, chumming the waters. That's normally Trump's MO. When he signed the bill, the work requirement bill, well, not bill, executive order, this week, he did so to much, media and fanfare. But you've got a bill that he didn't seem to be particularly proud of.
Apparently, yeah. So on Thursday, Trump privately signed a bill that allows states to withhold federal money from organizations that provide abortion services, including Planned Parenthood, a group frequently targeted by Republicans. The bill, which the usually camera-friendly president signed without any media present, reverses an Obama-era regulation that prohibited states from withholding money from facilities that perform abortions, arguing that many of these facilities also provide other family planning and medical services. The bulk of federal money Planned Parenthood receives, however, goes towards preventative health care. Birth control, pregnancy tests, and other women's health services. Federal law prohibits tax dollars from funding abortions, and Planned Parenthood says 3% of the services it provides are abortions.
Well, federal law also prohibits, money from going to hired killers, and yet our biggest discretionary spending item is the military. But go ahead.
Very true. The signing comes weeks after Vice President Mike Pence, a social conservative who regularly touts his anti-abortion stances, cast the tie-breaking vote in the Senate after 2 Republicans opposed the measure. Women's worst fears are now coming true. We are facing the worst political attack on women's health in a generation as lawmakers...
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Now we have a couple of women here, and I'm just curious, how scared are you right now?
I am not. Well, and so this
I can't get abortions.
That's very true.
They're just discriminating. They're discriminating against your lack of a pregnancy there, Arya. You should be able to get that.
That's true, the bastards.
You should be able to get that procedure whether or not you're actually growing a fetus inside you or not.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we need a leftist in here stat to try to refute that.
Transphobia.
Yeah, we really need to get a
the fact
leftist
that
to try
abortion
to...
clinics refuse abortions to transgendered people, that's transphobic. Someone should do something. Planned Parenthood should be shut down. You should pull their federal funding. It's discrimination. It's against the law.
Hey, that's what we're already doing. Well, not really. Allowing people to pull funding. But so, so this, the executive vice president of Planned Parenthood is talking about how, women's worst fears are now coming true. And this one, and there's so many facets of what's going on here. There's the way that Trump is playing it and all this stuff, the, Republicans flipping over. But one of the biggest things that I see is, yet again, this sky is falling rhetoric where, like, realistically, it's not so bad for women. And just because somebody doesn't fund your abortion doesn't mean that anybody's taking away your rights, And I think that's where this is kind of going.
Yeah, just because I'm not willing to pay for something for you doesn't mean that you don't have a right to it. Like, I'm not.
I don't think you have a right to it, but that's separate from the funding question.
Right.
I'm not going to pay for your cigarettes, but that doesn't mean I don't think you have a right to smoke them if you want. Like, I'm morally against alcohol. I wouldn't pay for you to get drunk, but I mean, what you waste your own money on doesn't have anything to do with me.
Well, that narrows down your choice of LP chair candidates, apparently.
Right.
Allegedly.
What? Why? What did I miss?
Oh.
We may save that for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's coming tomorrow.
Yeah,
you need
Friday.
to check the show prep in the Facebook chat, yo.
Mm-hmm.
There were some screenshots
Well, I mean, we
taken.
use so many different show preps now. I never know which one to use. or to
Oh my
look at.
goodness! Oh my goodness! It's juice. It's the juiciest juice, man. I'm talking like running down your chin
it's
and
the
off
drama-
your elbows.
That's
drama-iest
way too much
drama.
for a giggity right there.
I was about to do one, and I was like, oh, that's so gross.
It's like the biggest mouthful of red steak that wasn't cooked. That's like.
Oh, you saved that by turning it into a steak reference. Let me tell you.
I did.
Wow.
Red,
Okay, what
rare
were
Appreciate
steak.
that.
weren't we speaking of? No, that's awful. I can't say that.
Right. Speaking of red rare steak, weren't we talking about abortion?
Oh, you son of a.
Oh, no.
No
You're a-
giggity on that one.
No.
No, I think I just made half the people that were listening turn their radios off.
Oh.
Jeez Louise. Okay, well, anyway, I guess one reason why
That's what she said.
I gotta tell the bad jokes
Oh,
now
man.
because we'll have like somebody really
because you won't have a
respectable
radio show
later.
after you get done telling them.
No, it's because the last 15
Tell
minutes of the
them
show
now.
we're just going to be talking about Bukkake again. So.
Oh my
No,
god!
we're not
going to
talk about
BMW
Bukkake
just
with
so
you, Mom
almost ran
said.
into the back of that car right in front of the studio. That was so close.
And there's Will's ADD acting up. So anyway,
I'm
we were
sorry.
talking about
yeah,
Planned
I
Parenthood.
totally have ADD.
I guess one of the reasons that Trump would have signed this bill in private is that it doesn't do anything meaningful. I mean, because the
no, he's
vast
supposed
majority.
to gut and destroy Planned Parenthood like he promised.
Why? He's pro-abortion.
I mean, the best
Why would
thing
he do
about
that when he's pro-abortion?
Yeah, but he said that people who have
Sorry,
abortion
Arya.
should be
I had to make sure
criminally
they got it there.
prosecuted while he was running for office.
That doesn't
He
mean
did,
he's against it. He
but
just wants to prosecute everybody.
he just wanted votes.
Yeah,
But the best thing about Planned Parenthood was that, when Mike Pence threatened to defund it, liberals came forward and donated massive amounts of money to Planned Parenthood, proving, in fact, that if the government did defund it and they really gave a crap about it, then they would fund it themselves.
That's right.
And
Who would
but
fund the
it's easier.
roads?
It's more convenient for them to just have everybody be robbed so that they don't have to do it.
Exactly. I don't want to do it. It takes effort. I might have to get my lazy behind out of the bed and not play Halo.
I feel like people who play Halo are also probably not the people who are donating to Planned Parenthood. Maybe. Maybe just in general.
Why would you think that?
For real, yo.
Well,
evidently
honestly,
you
because
don't
I think
ever
that
watch
mostly the
Twitch-
people who play Halo are guys, and
you
it's
never
like
watched
not a bunch of guys.
the Twitch chat room then, because we have.
I guess.
Because
All right.
this Twitch is like a mostly
You're severely underestimating
for
white knights.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah,
oh
that's
my
true.
God.
I have to
yes.
support women's health because I am a feminist man.
Because giggity?
I need blowjobs and
I need
saying
Planned
these things
Parenthood.
get to me them.
Planned Parenthood needs to be there in case I ever manage to have sex with a woman and get her pregnant.
Yeah, right. That way
Wow,
I
this
can.
is
case.
just a fun show today, guys.
But it has to be
dodge
consensual because,
responsibility like a
the
good
female
liberal.
body
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Pure Life Water, helping you drink better and live better by providing a zero-calorie alternative to sugary drinks. Visit us at nestle-purelife.us. When kids are playing, they often don't want to stop to keep hydrated, so send them out with a bottle of water and encourage them to take frequent drink breaks, or call them inside for a quick sip. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is the Onion Week in Review. Allentown, Pennsylvania 5-year-old Trisha Billings announced from her dining room Saturday that the circle was no longer her favorite shape. The landmark declaration comes just days after the 5-year-old changed her favorite color from red to purple. While experts have struggled to determine what Billings' interim favorite shape will be, the 5-year-old assured reporters that the majority of her favorite things will remain consistent for the time being. Disney executives revealed in an interview Friday that all of the company's animated and live-action movies take place in a single unified universe, saying Never Never Land is actually mere minutes away from the jungle where Timon, Pumbaa, and Simba danced in a straight line and sang Hakuna Matata. Company heads stated that every character from Air Bud to Jiminy Cricket all inhabit the same interconnected world, just as Walt Disney envisioned it.
A lot of people don't know this, but Daryl Hannah's character in Splash actually lives in the exact same coral reef where Nemo went missing. And if filmmakers so desired, they could have Princess Jasmine, for example, hop into Herbie Fully Loaded to go watch the Jonas Brothers 3D concert experience.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom live on LRN.fm. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.fm.
Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studio right here in in the beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And, well, it is another beautiful day here. We've been talking about fake news. Trump is stupid. He likes to hide things that he doesn't think is going to make a splash. We've destroyed Chelsea's innocence. Did I miss anything that we've done already in the first hour of the show?
Just the massive echo, and that's way less interesting than the other stuff.
Oh, yeah, and we fixed a horrible audio issue that I'm still not completely sure that I didn't create another one by fixing it, but, you know,
we can't tell, so
we
who
can't
cares?
tell. It's not affecting us.
The rest of you can live with
it. Somebody go check the TuneIn app. Somebody call the stations in Texas. We're not getting phone calls and there's no lights blinking, so
we're
I'm
not on
assuming
the air in
we're
Texas
good.
anymore. Come on, after that last segment,
Right? rural Texas was like, no.
Bye.
No.
We also decided that Planned Parenthood is transphobic for not giving me an abortion.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
No, we didn't decide that. That's just true.
Yeah.
We just revealed it.
It's intersection.
real
this is-
news.
It's intersectional activism, folks. Get with the program. I'm sorry, man. I just can't anymore. Oh, Lord have mercy.
So jumping back to this
Get
thing,
back to
I
the
think
story, Chelsea.
what Tom said
That's
is
what she said.
okay.
Let's get back to it.
What Tom said is really true, that this thing basically does nothing. All it says is that like states are no longer prohibited from denying funding to Planned Parenthood. So they can still provide funding to Planned Parenthood if they choose to. They just also now have the freedom to not provide funding to Planned Parenthood.
And the thing is, most of the states that would want to deny funding to Planned Parenthood
Already
have more. They try to. I mean, there are certain Medicaid and Medicare restrictions that make them, fund certain programs, but by other means, most of them have run Planned Parenthood and other abortion clinics for the most part out of the state. I mean, Aria, down there in Mississippi, I think you've got one abortion clinic in the whole state at this point.
I mean, maybe, if somebody wants an abortion in Mississippi, they have to go to Little Rock. If it's after 6 weeks, I think.
And then, like in Tennessee, there's only 4 Planned Parenthood clinics in the entire state, and it's like 1 in Nashville, 1 in Chattanooga, and 2 in Memphis. And so you can.
I don't know. I just keep having this. I heard a really, really bad joke about Planned Parenthood on Netflix the other day.
Oh, come on. We've already done terrible jokes about
something about Freegans and your favorite Thai restaurant being next door to a Planned Parenthood.
What that? I don't even know how that's.
Do you know what a Freegan is?
No.
Freegans are people that only eat meat if they don't have to pay for it. And then they go around and they dumpster dive. And
no.
Stop it right now.
No.
By the time you're done, we're not going to be on in South Africa either.
And the comic says, well, I know it sounds like an okay idea.
No,
but what
stop
happens
it.
if
Stop
your
it, Will.
Thai shop
Stop it. Stop it now.
No.
Stop it. Can we just... Can't we just stick to normal... Can't we just stick to normal, terrible stereotypes about Asian restaurants involving cats and dogs and not do this?
Guys, you've now also destroyed Tom's innocence as well.
Not my innocence, just my appetite.
Yeah.
So Tom couldn't be a Freegan is what he's saying.
Well, no, because I will like meat. I'm the what's the opposite of a Freegan? Because I'll only eat vegetables if it's free or it comes with the meat.
I don't know.
Giggity?
Yeah, exactly. Giggity. So, I mean, what would the opposite of that be? Would it be like a freenivore or I don't know.
Like a sane person?
Like a human?
No,
Yeah.
actually, I think freegan should be the term for me because I pay when it comes to my carnivore habits, but I only take the stuff vegans eat if it's free. I think I'm the freegan, and those people who are trying to bum free meat are just wrong.
Dude, you commandeer that word. Get it.
Right?
Yep.
You
I'm
Culturally appropriated it.
Yes! Yes!
Sorry, Will, I beat you to it.
You did.
I have invaded your inferior culture and claimed your word.
Right.
What are you going to do about it, you skinny little useless people who eat no protein and therefore have no muscle mass?
Oh my God, what are they called? Not trendies, that other word. For people that smell
Hipsters?
bad. Hipsters, yeah. You know,
Hipsters.
People who smell
they smell like a hippie.
That doesn't even narrow it down.
They do. They smell like hippies, but they dress like lumberjacks, and they don't know how to cut wood or change a tire.
Lesbians?
Only the ones in Oregon, Tom. Only the ones in Oregon.
And the ones who aren't trans.
Right.
And now we're not on the air in California.
I can change a tire.
Have we triggered the mouth-breathing dullard out of, like... Because I'm not even over there right now.
This is
I don't know.
I think we made his head explode.
I'm trying to get this guy on the show, right? His name's Yahya... Damn it, I can't remember. Anyway, he wrote this book on, like, he's like an intersectionality critical race. He's the devil. He's what he is. Or at least his job title sounds like the devil. But I'm trying to get him on the show. It should be really, really interesting. But I can't wait because, like, he's Muslim, but he's like he's into that, like, whole intersectionality activism, whatever the hell it's called. And I'm just like, you know what? Let's have him on the show. And Khalid Beydoun, there we go. He wrote a book called American Islamophobia because, you know, that's a really, what's it called? American Islamophobia, Understanding the Roots and Rise of Fear. And he describes himself as a law professor and a critical race theorist. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is going to be fun. Because it's gonna, can you imagine we get a Muslim guy with a hardcore Muslim name? Like, it's kind of hard to get more Muslim sounding than Khalid Beydoun, you know? Like, his name means Bedouin, basically. I'm the happy Bedouin.
Wow.
How hard are we gonna trigger the hell out of the mouth-breathing dullards out there? It's going to be great because he's going to trigger them even more than Imam Zaid because, like, he's hard left and not ashamed of it.
I think we're going to trigger him.
Oh yeah, we're going to trigger the hell out of him the whole time he's on the air. Hopefully he's not listening right now and going, "Yeah, I'm not doing that."
Yeah,
But
seriously,
you mean
hopefully.
I've been sitting here wondering if we were all that certain that Imam Zaid was still coming on in the 6th.
Yeah, Imam Zaid's coming on because I mean, you guys,
well,
you can't miss it.
Imam Zaid has been on here before when we had a fellow guest who was totally trashed out of his mind.
My God.
So.
We had, who was that? That was Ryan.
It's Ryan Ramsey.
Yeah, Ryan Ramsey from the Florida Libertarian Party came on, and he asked the question. Well, he started off with, don't you think Muslims have like a bad problem with PR and that there should be something that, you know, like that you should have like a Muslim PR firm that like its job is to make you not look so bad because like everybody thinks that you think and believe and do these things and it may not be true.
Except it took him 3 minutes to ask this question
because he asked it 3 times, and the first time he asked it he sounded like me, and then the next time he asked it he was like, so do you think? And then the third time that he asked it, it was, sorry, damn it. So,
all these interjections were in there too.
I think you Muslims, you know, you got a really bad problem with hold on, baby. I think you have a really bad problem with PR. And literally, like, he was that drunk by the end of the show. Like, slobbering on the telephone drunk by the end of the show. It was hilarious. And Imam Zaid, not only did he not hang up and just be like, yeah, I'm through with this interview with this possibly white supremacist.
He answered him. He was totally professional.
Totally professional. And was willing to come back on this horrible show again after that. So anyway, we'll be back with Crypto Hour after this. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be unpacking the 5 biggest scams in crypto to date.
Fun.
And talking about how MasterCard, well, they're double-faced and double-minded when it comes to the blockchain. When we get back here with Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene, Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, April 19th, 2018. Silver is trading at $17.21 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,347 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $35, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,209. Antiwar.com reports CIA Director Mike Pompeo had an unlikely destination for Easter weekend, Pyongyang. Pompeo reportedly made a top-secret trip to North Korea that weekend to meet with Kim Jong-un amid preparations for a direct Trump-Kim summit. The news of the visit came just hours after the White House had confirmed extremely high-level talks with North Korea. This is about as high-level as it gets, as Pompeo is not only CIA Director but the Secretary of State nominee. Officials are refusing to publicly speak on the Pompeo visit, saying they don't comment on secret CIA director travel. Trump had suggested the summit will be in early June, and 5 locations are under consideration. Previous reports indicated that the U.S.-North Korea talks were being coordinated through the New York office, where North Korea has diplomats for the UN. A visit by one of Trump's favorite cabinet members to North Korea is clearly a much higher level of discussion. This is the highest level U.S. visit to North Korea since the year 2000, when Madeleine Albright met with Kim Jong-il. It's the first time Kim Jong-un has been reported to meet with a U.S. official. For over 40 years, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports New York Governor Andrew Cuomo signed an executive order Wednesday granting voting rights to all paroled felons in the state. The executive order came after Cuomo said he proposed the idea to the state Senate, but a bill was never advanced. Cuomo said it is unconscionable to deny voting rights to New Yorkers who have paid their debt and have re-entered society. This reform will reduce disenfranchisement and will help restore justice and fairness to our democratic process. There are about 35,000 people on parole in New York State. The executive order means New York joins 18 other other states and the District of Columbia in granting voting rights to parolees. Cuomo said during a speech at the National Action Network conference in Manhattan, in this state, when you're released from prison and you're on parole, you still don't have the right to vote. Now, how can that be? You did your time, you paid your debt, you're released, but you still don't have the right to vote. His office said preventing parolees from voting disproportionately affects minority voters who make up 71% of parolees. New York Senate Republican leader John Flanagan said Cuomo's order circumvents the law. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system and to fully capitalize on that decision in their fundraising efforts. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. Reuters reports a New York nanny was found guilty on Wednesday of stabbing to death 2 children in her care at their luxury Manhattan apartment in a case that drew national headlines. A jury unanimously rejected the insanity defense of Yoselin Ortega, whose lawyer said she hallucinated a devil's order to kill the children and herself when she plunged a kitchen knife into Lucia Krim and her brother Leo and left their bloody bodies in a bathtub. The October 25, 2012 killings were discovered when Marana Krim returned to the family's Upper West Side apartment to find her children dead and their nanny standing over them, stabbing her own neck with a knife. Krim had come home with the children's 3-year-old sister Nessie after Ortega failed to show up at Lucia's dance class. Ortega was charged with 2 counts, each of first and second-degree murder, punishable by a maximum sentence of life in prison. Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance told reporters following the verdict, "We hope now that this verdict will give the Krim family an opportunity to heal and to find some closure and to move on in their lives." As a teary-eyed Kevin Krim, the children's father, stood beside him. Krim declined to take questions. Insanity defenses rarely succeed in New York, where proving mental illness is not enough to find a defendant not responsible for a crime. Defense attorneys must demonstrate that the suspect could not understand the consequences of his or her actions. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
This is the Onion Week in Review. Citing his erratic social behavior, nondescript occupation, and habit of accidentally walking off piers while pretending to read newspapers, acquaintances of 37-year-old Jeff Walther suspect he may be a bumbling spy. Residents of Worcester, Massachusetts are kind of hoping a Panera Bread will show up and plow over an obnoxious neighborhood bakery. Locals have said that the soulless restaurant chain, with its simple, impersonal experience, would be just the thing to help run the precious mom-and-pop establishment out of business.
Callahan's is really lovely and all, but it would be such a relief to have some college-aged kid take my order without making eye contact. I just need a cup of coffee. You know, we're not friends.
A follow-up survey of Worcester residents confirmed that 72% of patrons would rather be alerted of an order by a vibrating pager than a kind-faced woman who calls everybody sweetheart. In other news, feds break up a brutal Las Vegas man-fighting ring. A Christmas card ominously makes no mention of the twins. And the Boy Scouts celebrate 100 years of preparing teens for not having cool friends.
This is the Onion News Network. The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Hold. Hold. Hold.
You better hold on for dear life, because it's time for the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com. On the Call to Freedom.
All right, welcome here to the Crypto Hour here on the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire, and I'm joined by the classic crew, our legal man, Mr. Tom Gray, broadcasting from East Tennessee, and we also have from Mississippi, soon to be in studio with me in the next couple of months, Miss Aria Demetrio from cryptocurrencycheck.org. Well, wasting no time, wanted to get right into this first story. We've got a number of predictions that have come out on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. And, our source here has been kind enough to put them all in one little spot under a heading, Bitcoin headed for 100,000 or 100. CEOs, big investors, and Harvard economists all give predictions. Many predictions have been made regarding Bitcoin's price, which after jumping from around 1,000 to 20,000 in 2017, decreased to lows of around 6,000 before climbing back to around 8,000. This huge volatility makes it very challenging to predict the price in the short term. Nonetheless, fundamental analysis of the evolution of Bitcoin's price in the longer term could be more reliable. Several predictions are analyzed and discussed below to estimate the most likely direction of Bitcoin's price in the medium to long term. Prediction 1. Institutional investors' money will increase Bitcoin's price. The CEO of American Express-backed startup Abra has predicted that investors will make all hell break loose in a recent interview with Business Insider. He mentioned that there is currently little large-scale institutional money in cryptocurrencies, and when this changes, the impact on Bitcoin's price will be very, very positive. So what's preventing this institutional money flow into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets in general? Well, the current technological limitations of blockchain could be a key reason, especially those related to scaling. However, right now, there are scientists and software developers building trailblazing innovations that could take distributive ledger technology to the next level, as pointed out by Don Tapscott, the author of the book Blockchain Revolution. Decentralization, scalability, and security are the trilemma in the DLT, meaning that if you were worried to improve scalability, then security would be compromised, and so on. However, this trilemma, which has been a limiting factor for the technology, is about to be overcome. Ethereum and Zilliqa are working on a process called sharding. I kid you not. Which could greatly improve their throughput and their number of transactions per second.
It's more innocent than it sounds.
I'm very glad we did not get a giggity after that one.
It's sharding, not sharting. Says that they'll be able to do more transactions per second than Visa or MasterCard. Other projects are creating the, quote, Internet of Blockchains by allowing interoperability among blockchains, both public and private. They would also offer shared security and instant finality, meaning that it will not only be necessary to wait for several confirmations to validate it will not be necessary to wait for several confirmations to validate a transaction. Let's see, who else we got here? Prediction 2. A decade from now, Bitcoin is likely to be worth $100 than more likely to be worth $100 than 100,000. Wow, it was hard to spit out. Kenneth Rogoff, a Harvard economist, has predicted due to the volatility of Bitcoin's price and the small number of cases, such money laundering and tax evasion, mainly in his opinion. Small number of use cases. I don't know how I missed the word use completely. The small number of use cases. Why didn't they just use the word uses? Jesus Christ. Such as money laundering and tax evasion, mainly in his opinion, Bitcoin is more likely to be worth $100 in a decade than 1,000.
So in the same article where he's talking about, big investors getting into it, he criticizes its usage in tax evasion as a reason that it will lose value.
No, what he's saying is
I get it as two different points, but
the first one was the one about not getting lots of investor money in. That was the first prediction. This is the second prediction. It's from a completely different person. These are a number of predictions that are listed in the same.
I didn't know they were from different people.
Yeah, that's what I was saying at the beginning. Is we have a number of predictions that, depending on who you ask, either CEOs, big investors, or a Harvard economist, Bitcoin could be as much as $100,000 or as little as $100. And the second guy is saying it's only going to be $100 in 10 years. Quote, in the U.S., we're probably at least a few months away from getting full regulatory clarity on the trading of digital assets, but the landscape is a lot clearer than it was. That the main usage, like you said before, is for tax evasion, and because of that, it's probably going to be worth about $100 a coin. Another prediction, Bitcoin's price will follow a downward trend until after the CME futures launch in December of 2017. A popular blogger predicted in a recent article that Bitcoin's price will follow a downward trend based on the assumption that gold and silver prices have been suppressed for the last 7 years, similar to the commodities after the futures market launch. The following, whatever, blah, 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 blah. There we go. The author compares this with similar trends observed in prices of silver, uranium, or gold. Because the supply of Bitcoin is limited, like other commodities such as oil, those in control of the supply can have a considerable effect on the price, such as OPEC in the case of the oil markets. For example, a big buy or sell order in the cryptocurrency markets can move Bitcoin's price by a large percentage, which we've seen many times. If a whale makes a dump, Bitcoin prices can drop $3,000 in a day. Easy. Boom. But then if there's a huge buy-in because for some reason all of a sudden a price fluctuation makes everybody get a woody and they all go run to buy a bunch of coin, I've seen the price go up almost that much in a day. Am I talking to myself over here?
No, we're just listening patiently as we always do.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Bitcoin's price in a decade, 100,000, much more likely than 100. This from some other jackoff that's not named here, just another blogger. Not another blogger, another CEO. So basically the opinion seems to be that as soon as the CMEs start maturing, then the price of Bitcoin is going to go through the roof. Which, I mean, I wouldn't be disappointed with that. Neither would most of our listeners. So, anyway, when we get back here, I want to get into this. Somebody's put together a list of what they think are the 5 biggest cryptocurrency scams ever. So, we're going to hit that when we get back here on the Call to Freedom's Crypto Hour.
Giggity.
In just a moment.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
The Shire Free Church offers a sanctuary to those seeking an escape from state churches.
The Shire Free Church is an interfaith, diverse group of people that may not share identical theological beliefs. As a member in or minister of the Shire Free Church, you are a sovereign individual and may be the faith of your choice.
We don't claim to have all of the answers.
We are open to all peaceful people.
We want to learn from each other.
What unifies the Shire Free Church and its diverse members is peace,
love,
and liberty. There are many paths to God, one for every individual.
The Shire Free Church does not define a specific path beyond those parameters that must be your foundation.
Peace as your way,
love as your guide,
and liberty as your light.
Learn more at church.shiresociety.com.
That's church.shiresociety.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit shiresociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at shiresociety.com. That's shiresociety.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
You are listening to Call to Freedom's Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार के क्रिप्टो आवर को, जिसके प्रस्तुत करता है Helium.com.
Up in paradise up above. If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love, life could be a dream, sweetheart. Hello, hello again.
All right, welcome back into the Cult of Freedom here on LRN.FM. So we're broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And you know what? It is a wonderful little community up here. I call it a crypto community because it's the best place on earth, really, to get an opportunity to spend cryptocurrencies. You want a pizza, you want some Indian food, you want to get your car fixed, you need a new transmission, fine. Dash, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash. What would you prefer to use? T-shirts, soap, food. You can get all kinds of stuff right here in Keene with cryptocurrencies. There's even a store here that accepts just about any crypto you could offer. If you go to a place, it's called Route 101 Goods. It's literally right next door to the first cryptocurrency run mosque on the planet. That's right. It's a mosque that is funded almost exclusively through cryptocurrencies.
Well, gosh, do you happen to know who the imam of that mosque is?
An imam? What was that? An imam? I have a friend of mine. He works for a popular imam named Yusuf Estes, who I'm not particularly a fan of, but he calls me an imam with an E because of, crypto and all that kind of stuff. Email, imam. internet trying to be funny.
Well, isn't he a clever one?
He is, isn't he, though? But you know what? You can come up here, just like Aria is going to be doing soon, and you can spin crypto, hang out, do a little bit of crypto tourism, and while you're here, have a great time at a new event where you can join liberty-minded voluntarists, anarchists, activists, and libertarians this summer, June 14th through June the 18th for Fork Fest 2018 at Rogers Campground in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. Now, Fork Fest is a fork of other camping parties in the woods, and, well, you're invited to come and create whatever experience you'd like others to have. It's completely decentralized, which means nobody's in charge, so everyone's in charge, and it's up to you to create what happens. Now, you can plan speaking engagements. You could put together a dance party. You could put together classes. Or, you know what? Just come, kick back, cooler, tent, lawn chair, relaxing in the woods with some really good liberty-loving friends. Go to forkfest.party. To learn more, you can join the forum or the Telegram chat group. Again, that's Forkfest with an F, forkfest.party. So, Tom, you've got a story over there about, people have been getting scammed quite a lot. And so much
we never talk about that, do we?
Right. So much so that they've now put together a list of the top 5 crypto scams.
All right, so skipping on down to the bottom, and I'll read the article.
For real? Oh my God, it's like a book before you finally get to the actual scams they're talking about.
Yeah, but they've got the chart right here, and here are the ones they say are the 5 biggest. So, Aria, if you have any immediate reaction to these, that'd be nice. The number 1, these aren't in any particular order, but OneCoin from 2015, which was a multi-level marketing scam coming out of China and Thailand. Pincoin and iFan from this year, another MLM scam, this one out of Vietnam. And the next 3 are all out of the good old US of A. Centratech in 2015, which is an MLM marketing based on a high-yield investment program. Plexcoin from 2017, same deal. High-yield investment program, or at least that's what it promised. Of course, that was fake. And one we've talked about on this show quite a bit before, rounding out the list, BitConnect, which was a high-yield investment program / Ponzi scheme. So all of these...
How did they not get Bitcoin Silver? Or
I
the BIIT coin
I think
on
it's
there?
based on the amount of money they were actually able to scam people out of.
Yeah, Bitcoin with 2 eyes got shut down pretty quickly, as an example, and Bitcoin Silver, I don't know how much it took off the way that these did. But let's get into the article and find out what flavors of scams we're dealing with. And this is from Gareth Jenkinson at Cointelegraph. Cryptocurrencies have revolutionized the way the world looks at transactions, but they've also facilitated some monumental scams over the past 9 years. The success of Bitcoin and a number of altcoins jump-started an industry that is incorporating blockchain technology in a number of innovative ways. While the smartest minds have created some game-changing companies backed by the power of blockchain and cryptocurrencies, nefarious minds have also jumped on the bandwagon, fleecing unwitting investors in elaborate scams. Since Bitcoin's inception in 2009, people have become increasingly enamored with the idea of Bitcoin technology. Over time, developers and business minds began creating their own solutions with this decentralized ledger technology. This led to the creation of Ethereum and other virtual currencies, with the former in part responsible for a boom in initial coin offerings, ICOs, in 2017. As an ICO is essentially a round of public funding and is typically launched via a tech startup, which sells in-house cryptocurrency tokens to prospective investors. These investors buy tokens in the hope that company will launch its product and the tokens will grow in value. An ICO is not unlike an initial public offering, an IPO. I would strongly contest that. when a traditional company
So an
makes
ICO is basically supposed to function as a stock.
So it's something like an initial public offering, which is specifically an offering for sale to the public of a publicly traded stock. I say that the two are not comparable primarily because IPOs are so heavily regulated.
Well, not only
that,
IPOs are established businesses that are popular enough that they are now going public, whereas ICO is, I've got an idea, but I don't have the money for R&D.
Well, sometimes it's not even an idea. Sometimes it's, hey,
give me some money.
Can I have some money?
Yeah.
Yep. And again, it's not that we're fans of regulation here, but to call ICOs and IPOs comparable, that there aren't those legal protections.
ICOs and IPOs are not in any way comparable.
We have things like CryptoCheck, which currently is down, but we have free market solutions for getting rid of these bad ICOs. We don't need regulations.
Literally, the only comparison is that it's selling lots of things for money. That's it. Like a company selling lots of things for money, for funding. Because IPOs are also supposed to help bring in funds to a company. So anyway, when we get back here on the Call to Freedom, we're going to continue on with the 5 biggest scams of 2018.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
You can't win if you don't enter, and you actually can improve your chances of winning a prize drawing if you wrinkle up your entry blank. I'm Holland Cook from survivalspeech.com, and I speak from experience. Why this works: if they'll be spinning the drum before drawing, your entry blank will move around more than, and not adhere to, other perfectly flat entry blanks. And if they don't spin the drum and merely reach into a box full of other perfectly flat entry blanks, many of which are sticking together, yours will feel different to the person reaching in. When you win, act surprised. And if you're looking for work, this is a metaphor. For more tips on sticking out in a world where just too much blends into the blah, 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 hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
Join Daryl W. Perry on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio as he brings you news, views, and opinions while promoting the ideas of peaceful interaction.
You blow up a hospital, you're in violation of international humanitarian law. You are in violation of the law of war. From the military, quote, every violation of the law of war is a war crime. And I've had people jump on me for saying that blowing up a hospital in Kunduz, Afghanistan, that was being operated by Doctors Without Borders, I've had people jump on me for saying that's a war crime. Damn right it's a war crime. You blew up a hospital. I think every person, from the guy flying the airplane, to the guy that gave the order, to the guy above him, all the way up to Barack Obama, need to be held accountable for their war crime. And I'm not going to shut up about this until something happens.
Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. Online at fppradio.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour on the Call to Freedom, brought to you by Helium.com. Unasikiliza Crypto Hour inayohusu wito wa uhuru, imeletwa kwako na Helium.com.
Live from the Vertcoin studio, this is the Call to Freedom. It's the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium 47 here on LRN.FM. When you hear the faucet, be qualified to get some free coins. This is the Call to Freedom.
That's right. It's the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We're broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And, we've been talking about this story, unpacking, and I was wrong. It's not 2018. There's one from 2018, 3 from last year, and 1 from 2015. These are the 5 biggest cryptocurrency scams to date. Go ahead, Tom.
And I think those are the years they went bust, because I think BitConnect was operating for a while before they finally went belly up. At least that's what the Reddit makes it sound like. So anyway, we'll start with number 1 here out of Vietnam, Pincoin and iFan. The most recent large-scale ICO scam grabbed headlines in April. 2 ICOs run by the same company operating out of Vietnam are believed to have swindled around 32,000 investors out of a combined, $660 million. The company in question, Modern Tech, packed up its offices in Ho Chi Minh City last month. Wait a minute, is this still called Ho Chi Minh City? I thought they changed it back to Pyongyang. No, Pyongyang is in... What am I talking about? Anyway, they packed it up last month, making off with investors' money. The scam is believed to be the biggest in ICO history. A number of investors protested outside the vacant offices in the city on April 8th after the company refused to process cash withdrawals. The city's administration has ordered police to investigate the fraud. Well, good luck with that. Both ICOs have been classified as multi-level marketing scams. iFan was advertised as a social media platform for celebrities to promote their content to fans. Meanwhile, Pincoin was promising 40% monthly returns on investments made. The project claimed to be building an online platform encompassing an ad network, auction and investment portal, and peer-to-peer marketplace built on blockchain technology. All right, so guys, with this first one, they made off with a lot of money, but I'm finding it a little bit hard to be sympathetic to people who bought into an ICO, one of which was advertised as a social media platform for celebrities to promote their content. So they were basically buying into this coin on the promise that this coin would then be able to get celebrities to use their platform. I guess use theirs instead of Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the established social media platforms that actually have readers. And people bought a bunch of coins based on that promise. That's not a good investment. And then Pincoin here, 40% monthly returns. If anybody promises you 40% monthly returns on anything, leave.
Right.
Just leave.
40%.
I don't even know.
40% monthly returns.
This is driving me nuts. What was it? Saigon. That's what Ho Chi Minh City used to be. I thought they had changed it back, but I guess because we lost that war, Ho Chi Minh stays. All right. Number 2 here is OneCoin. OneCoin has been the subject of a number of investigations over the past 18 months. Officially labeled as a clear Ponzi scheme in India in July 2017, it was fined 2.5 million euro by Italian authorities 2 months later. Cointelegraph has previously warned readers to stay clear of the operation, as OneCoin does not even operate as a legitimate decentralized cryptocurrency. So this one's an ongoing one.
Mm-hmm.
Further, it does not have a public ledger. Well, then what is it? Isn't the whole point of crypto the public ledger? It does not have a public ledger, and its Bulgarian offices were raided in January with servers seized by authorities as international investigations and court cases continue against the company. Scandals in countries around the world summed up the fact that OneCoin is indeed a massive scam. In 2016, over $30 million were seized by Chinese authorities investigating the OneCoin operation in China. The company claimed to be officially licensed in Vietnam, sensing a theme here, last year as well, but this was later refuted by the country's government. More than 5 countries have warned investors of the risk involved for those choosing to invest in the company, including Thailand, Croatia, Bulgaria, Finland, and Norway. Number 3, BitConnect. Long accused of being a Ponzi scheme, BitConnect discontinued operations in January in the wake of a cease and desist order from 2 American financial regulators. Users exchanged Bitcoin for BitConnect coin on the BitConnect platform, launched in January 2017, and were promised astronomical returns on their investments. Again, seeing a theme.
Worthless ones and zeros for your hard-earned Bitcoin.
But the symbol looks so similar.
And those crypto cloud T-shirts that I wear with they got 10 or 20 different cryptocurrency symbols on them. They all have a BitConnect symbol on them.
I hope you got them on the cheap.
I did. I get all my stuff like that on the cheap. I host a cryptocurrency political talk radio show. Everything's cheap.
Where's our free stuff? Come to think of it. We'll talk about that off
I
here.
wish.
Okay, furthermore, this is back to BitConnect. Furthermore, the company ran a lending program where users lent out BCC out to other users to make interest depending on how much BCC they'd lent on the platform. There was also a typical Ponzi scheme referral system. Nonetheless, the wider cryptocurrency was hardly sympathetic when the operation shut down its lending scheme and exchange platform. A number of users have launched a class action lawsuit against BitConnect to recoup lost funds, amounting to $700,000 for their particular claim.
Oh, well, that's compared.
That's just one claim.
Yeah,
and that's what I wanted to emphasize there, because if you look up this article yourself, then you'll see the losses for BitConnect estimated at $700,000, but that is with reference to one lawsuit. What I've seen from BitConnect indicates there were a whole lot more people scammed by it, up into the 9-figure range, like some of these others. So don't underestimate exactly how screwy those guys are. And I should note, when we've talked about it on the show before, the same guys who were involved in BitConnect have launched other crypto projects, so be on the lookout for them.
I think Tom's neighbor is mowing the yard.
That wouldn't be my neighbor. That would be my lawnmower guy, who is late if he's here today, and who has been told that I now do a radio show at this part of the day.
Hard to get good help these days.
Well, hopefully I can get him to spread the bug killer around the yard today. Does one of you guys want to take it over so that our listeners don't have to listen to that?
I'm just making fun. I ain't nothing wrong with you, Tom. Don't worry about it. Me and Daryl were just looking at each other like, is that a lawnmower? Or is he playing with a vibrator
That's-
while he's on the air?
You know I only do that at breaks.
Oh, Lord have mercy. We are off the... Yesterday we had the guys from Bad Crypto Podcast on, and he was like, man, we're off the rails already. And I was like, bro, this show lives off the rails. You are going to be right at home here. Anyway, when we get back, we're going to continue on with the 5 biggest crypto scams to date. When we get back here on the Call to Freedom, here on LRN.FM.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way.
You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, hey.
Who do you think you are?
Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this hospital.
No, I have work today. This is...
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait
now.
Wait a minute.
Whoa. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me?
Because you scared me.
What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this?
Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, on the call to freedom, on LRN.fm. أنتم تستمعون إلى The Crypto Hour. يقدم إليكم برعاية helium.com على برنامج نداء للحرية على LRN.FM.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We're broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And, well, we've been talking about the 5 biggest crypto scams to date. Tom Gray has been going through them one by one, telling us about just how much money people have been scammed out of.
That's right. Well, almost one by one. One thing that I'd like to point out is that the first one we talked about was one company ran 2 completely different crypto scams, that Pincoin and iFan. So when you know, if you're investing in a crypto venture, have a look at the underlying company, not just the coin, because you may see shady stuff going on in one area that you wouldn't have caught in the other, and vice versa. Just a way too obvious to even say out loud tip, but sometimes those are the most useful tips.
Oh, yeah.
So we got through the first 3, ending there with BitConnect. The last 2 are also from the good old US of A. Plexcoin. This particular ICO was nipped in the bud in December 2017 after being labeled a typical return on investment Ponzi scheme. PlexCorp was promising investors over, come on, people, over 1,300% return on investment per month. I'm rich, Come on, people! Before the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission ordered the company to stop operations. The SEC, which actually doesn't necessarily have any legal authority to stop such things, was so certain they could get something done that they were even willing to step in and be like, hey, y'all, don't do that. What is that? I don't know. I heard Africa. And then something else. Anyway, Plexcoin. Over $15 million had been raised during the Plexcoin ICO, so a relatively small one, but a ballsy one. Luckily, all of the funds were frozen by the SEC, and founder Dominic LaCroix was jailed. Interestingly, it was the first time, I suspected this, it was the first time the SEC stepped in and charged an ICO through its cybercrime unit. Plexcoin's offerings were also classed as a security, hence the SEC's decision to press charges. So these guys actually styled their ICO as a security and therefore submitted themselves to the regulation of the SEC and somehow thought that they were going to get away with offering 1,300% return per month. Not even APR. They thought that was going to fly. Wow. You know, sometimes we talk on this show about how, well, you know, cryptocurrency is technology. And technology takes some intelligence to understand. And frankly, if you are so lacking in intelligence that you think that you can get away with promising 1,300% return per month, and the SEC is going to be cool. Exactly. You're not going to be rich for very long. You're going to be in jail like Mr. Dominic LaCroix, apparently.
Yo, why does that clip have to be the one that you can't actually hear?
It's probably all for the best. Anyway.
He screams, I'm broke.
I'm broke, yes!
That's what everybody yelled as soon as BitConnect went under.
Everybody, the people who had been paying attention to the My thing with BitConnect is like if you went on any of the various cryptocurrency Reddits.
Oh yeah.
And
it's like a joke. It was an inside joke in the community. Like, look at all these idiots and newbies that don't know what they are doing. It's a scam. No, it's not. Bitcoin. What was that? The BitConnect guy, like the guy on stage. BitConnect. Oh God. Oh, they did a remix of that. Can you believe it? Where did you guys go?
I'm here.
I can't believe they did a remix of that.
Hey, everybody. My name is Carlos Matos, and I am coming from New York City, New York. Let me tell you guys that I am so excited. I am so happy. I am really so thrilled to be right now sharing this amazing, glorious, super, and exciting moment of my life with all of you guys. And let me tell you that we are really changing the world as we know it. The world is not anymore the way it used to be. No.
Oh, wow. I've never heard this.
It's awesome.
This is going to become our new bumper music for Crypto Hour. Okay, I need to get to the last one, Will. Shut the music off. Okay. Now this one is, speaking of remixes and music, this last one on the list was actually endorsed by Floyd Mayweather and no, that one didn't make the list. This one was endorsed by DJ Khaled and Floyd Mayweather. And this is Centratech. Centratech was thrust into the spotlight for its supposed Visa and MasterCard debit card service that would allow users to convert cryptocurrencies to fiat. Two of the founders have since been arrested on fraud charges related to the ICO, which raised around $32 million, according to Ars Technica. The SEC highlighted the extreme lengths the founders, Sohrab Sam Sharma and Robert Farkas, went to in order to dupe investors. Quote, the SEC also alleges that to promote the ICO, Sharma and Farkas created fictional executives with impressive biographies, posted false or misleading marketing materials to Centra's website, and paid celebrities to tout the ICO on social media. The U.S. regulator is looking to seek permanent injunctions and intends to force Sharma and Farkas to return stolen funds with interest. The pair will also be barred from serving as company officers or directors and will be banned from participating in any securities offerings. So, sometimes when you're looking into a new coin, one of the things they'll tell you is, well, look at the team behind it. Who's behind it? What are their credentials? In this case, we would have to add to that and make sure that the executives and the programmers behind the coin are real human beings. Because someone may have just made them up to make you buy the coin, as happened with Centratech. And also, celebrity endorsements, all they mean is that somebody paid a celebrity. They do not mean that the paid celebrity knows anything about the technology or even knows whether it's a real company. You mentioned, Will, and Bitcoin with two eyes didn't make the list because it got shut down so quickly, but there's one that was endorsed by Steven Seagal. I would say that the endorsement of Floyd Money Mayweather is a bigger deal as far as a scam, just because Floyd doesn't do anything for less than, a fat wad of cash.
Oh, yeah.
So they must have paid him a lot just to get him off his couch. And was, what return were they expecting on that investment? Well, there's the end of the scam list. When we come back for the 6 o'clock hour, we're going to have Imam Zaid Shocker, friend of the show, who officiated Stephen Clark's funeral. That was the man who was killed by Sacramento police. Ari and I talked about it while Will was gone one day, and we'll find out what the cops did to Mr. Clark. Join us in the next hour.
Guess what? We just got offered another station. I'm not sure where. But I sent out some calls a couple weeks ago, and I just got a message back. They want to carry us. Good news.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, April 19th, 2018. Silver is trading at $17.21 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,347 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $35, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,209. Antiwar.com reports CIA Director Mike Pompeo had an unlikely destination for Easter weekend, Pyongyang. Pompeo reportedly made a top-secret trip to North Korea that weekend to meet with Kim Jong-un amid preparations for a direct Trump-Kim summit. The news of the visit came just hours after the White House had confirmed extremely high-level talks with North Korea. This is about as high-level as it gets, as Pompeo is not only CIA Director but the Secretary of State nominee. Officials are refusing to publicly speak on the Pompeo visit, saying they don't comment on secret CIA director travel. Trump had suggested the summit will be in early June and 5 locations are under consideration. Previous reports indicated that the U.S.-North Korea talks were being coordinated through the New York office, where North Korea has diplomats for the UN. A visit by one of Trump's favorite cabinet members to North Korea is clearly a much higher level of discussion. This is the highest level U.S. visit to North Korea since the year 2000, when Madeleine Albright met with Kim Jong-il. It's the first time Kim Jong-un has been reported to meet with a U.S. official. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports New York Governor Andrew Cuomo signed an executive order Wednesday granting voting rights to all paroled felons in the state. The executive order came after Cuomo said he proposed the idea to the state Senate, but a bill was never advanced. Cuomo said it is unconscionable to deny voting rights to New Yorkers who have paid their debt and have re-entered society. This reform will reduce disenfranchisement and will help restore justice and fairness to our democratic process. There are about 35,000 people on parole in New York State. The executive order means New York joins 18 other states and the District of Columbia in granting voting rights to parolees. Cuomo said during a speech at the National Action Network conference in Manhattan, in this state, when you're released from prison and you're on parole, you still don't have the right to vote. Now, how can that be? You did your time, you paid your debt, you're released, but you still don't have the right to vote. His office said preventing parolees from voting disproportionately affects minority voters who make up 71% of parolees. New York Senate Republican leader John Flanagan said Cuomo's order circumvents the law. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system and to fully capitalize on that decision in their fundraising efforts. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. Reuters reports a New York nanny was found guilty on Wednesday of stabbing to death two children in her care at their luxury Manhattan apartment in a case that drew national headlines. A jury unanimously rejected the insanity defense of Yoselin Ortega, whose lawyers said she hallucinated a devil's order to kill the children and herself when she plunged a kitchen knife into Lucia Krim and her brother Leo and left their bloody bodies in a bathtub. The October 25, 2012 killings were discovered when Marana Krim returned to the family's Upper West Side apartment to find her children dead and their nanny standing over them, stabbing her own neck with a knife. Krim had come home with the children's 3-year-old sister Nessie after Ortega failed to show up at Lucia's dance class. Ortega was charged with 2 counts, each of first and second-degree murder, punishable by a maximum sentence of life in prison. Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance told reporters following the verdict, "We hope now that this verdict will give the Krim family an opportunity to heal and to find some closure and to move on in their lives." As a teary-eyed Kevin Krim, the children's father, stood beside him. Krim declined to take questions. Insanity defenses rarely succeed in New York, where proving mental illness is not enough to find a defendant not responsible for a crime. Defense attorneys must demonstrate that the suspect could not understand the consequences of his or her actions. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Scientology minister Frank D. Linehan was arrested this morning on 471 charges of molesting Thetans. The popular 56-year-old minister was reportedly taken into custody after an investigation revealed this week that he sexually abused dozens of Thetans in the past year, with many of the ancient alien spirits being as young as 65 million years old.
Church members left these Thetans alone with someone they trusted, and Mr. Linehan clearly violated that trust.
According to police reports, the abuse continued as recently as last week when Linehan forced a 70-million-year-old alien spirit to perform oral sex during a level OT2 solo auditing session. Since the allegations against Linehan surfaced, more and more church members have come forward about Thetan abuse. Despite the church's efforts to recover from the incident, the scandal may alienate a whole generation of Scientologists.
I don't see how they can expect anyone to continue moving up the bridge to total freedom and achieve clear after this.
This is the Onion News Network.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Disclaimer. When I die, I want to be put into orbit around Earth in a flying kick position. This is my dream. My dream. My dream. My dream. My dream. This is my dream.
All right, welcome here to the Call to Freedom, our third and final hour of this Thursday Night Live broadcast from the VertCoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. Now, I'm joined live via remote by my classic crew. We've got Mr. Tom Gray from our resident legal mind, and from cryptocurrencycheck.org, the queen of crypto herself, Miss Aria DiMezzo. And, we've been promising a really, really good guest. We've got him on the line right now. But to kind of touch on the story itself, to refresh it in your minds, of what's happened. There's actually been a new development in the Stephen Clark case that has just come across the wire. This is from on the Washington Post. It came out just not quite 24 hours ago. The Sacramento Police Department released dozens of videos related to the Stephen Clark killing. New material showed that officers muted their body-worn cameras at least 16 times, raising more questions about police action in the moments after the fatal shooting of the unarmed black man. Clark, 22, hit by 8 of 20 rounds fired by officers on March 18th in his grandmother's backyard, according to an independent autopsy requested by the family. He was unarmed. Police have said they believed he was raising a gun at them, but only a white iPhone was found near his body. Videos show 6 minutes pass between shots fired and responders attempting chest compressions. Police handcuffed and searched Clark before they began first aid. As the case gained national attention last month, police released videos that showed the 2 responding officers muting their body cameras, sparking waves of protests and leading the department to alter its policy, providing stricter rules for when police can disable their cameras. I got an idea. How about police don't have the ability to disable their own cameras? Maybe that's a brain buster of an idea. I mean, if they're meant for accountability, why would you allow people you want to be held accountable to turn their cameras off? I mean, how many times do we have to catch them because of that whole thing where you've got like the 6-second delay where the camera's running, but it's like it's supposed to be off? And we've caught officers in Baltimore planting guns, planting drugs, officers in other cities doing the same thing, planting drugs on suspects in order to get arrests that shouldn't even exist. So why are we giving officers the ability to turn these cameras off to begin with? I mean, if we had more accountability for officers, I personally believe these things wouldn't be happening. I think that instead of taking taxpayer dollars, instead of the city of Sacramento, because when this is all over with, we covered a story a couple weeks ago where a sheriff was like, you know what, if you throw $3 million at the family after you kill somebody, they eventually will go away. And that's what will happen in this case, is unfortunately, there'll be a little bit of working around the edges most likely, and they'll do everything they can to shove money at Mr. Clark's family just to get them to go away. And I mean, that's the way that our justice system has now decided that police shootings should be dealt with. Just throw some money at the family, and eventually, they have a finite amount of resource. The state has infinite resources to fight them in court. And eventually we'll just wear them down. They'll take the $3 million and it'll all be said and done with, and that'll be it. But instead, how about we take that money from police officer pension funds? I bet that would finally get some movement. That would probably get some officers and some police unions to finally crack down on, maybe we shouldn't just go out and shoot people in the street because, in a dangerous job, we're too scared to follow rules of engagement that are literally military officers in a war zone have more stringent rules of engagement than what our police officers show with the public here. So I wanted to take that, because we have this conversation all the time whenever we see these stories, but we never really get the opportunity to add a human element to that. Like we cover the story, we listen to the video of the police officer or the government official or the family member, but we never really get a chance to have like anything any more personal than that. And I saw that I happened to be lucky enough to know the imam who knew this family and who was there and officiated this funeral, and who could give us a more personalized approach and a more personalized story about how this, not just about the police brutality, but how this has affected the families. that are involved, because that's a story that doesn't really ever get to be told. I mean, we know that Freddie Gray was shot, not Freddie Gray, but Philando Castile. Good Lord. See, I mean, there's so many of them that I got to like, okay, which one was it? And go through my head of like all the people that have been killed in the last 5 years by police officers unjustly, who were unarmed or who were armed and legally armed and were like, hey, like Philando Castile, hey, officer, I have this gun. I'm just letting you know it is here. I'm doing my duty as an armed civilian and letting you know so that you aren't scared. Does anybody know what happened to his children? I mean, he was literally shot to death in front of his child. Has there been any reporting 2 years later? What happened to the child of Philando Castile? Well, I wanted to bring that story. People that knew this young man, people who were connected to him. And, you know, now we have with us Imam Zaid Shaker, he's a regular on the show before we went to our prime time, you know, much bigger audience, alhamdulillah, when we were still a small Sunday night fringe show. He was a regular, and I saw that he was involved, and I absolutely had to get him on so that he could talk about, you know, some of this stuff. Assalamu alaikum, Imam Zaid. Welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Now,
thank you for having me.
Imam, you know the family personally. You actually officiated the funeral. Or the
That's
janazah.
right, but I have to correct the record. Prior to getting involved with the funeral arrangements, I did not know the family. I'm in Oakland, okay. They're in Sacramento, and so I only got to interact with some of the family members after the shooting during the course of the funeral arrangements and the funeral.
Okay. All right. Thank you for setting the record straight on that one. Now,
and it was friends of the family or associates of the family who knew me actually reached out and got in touch with me. And I followed through on the wishes of the family that his janazah or funeral prayer be conducted by myself. So that's how I got involved. And I think this leads us to I think we can briefly talk about his family, Stefan's family. Stefan was not legally, but married to a young lady who is the daughter of an Indian Muslim. Her father, Raj, is actually a convert to Islam. His father was Hindu and his mother was a Sikh. And his wife is a Cham Vietnamese Muslim. So Selena, who is Stefan Clark's wife, is a half Vietnamese, half Indian Muslim. A mother, again, from the Vietnamese Cham Muslim community. And those are Muslims who are indigenous to Vietnam and Cambodia. And her father is a convert to Islam from a Sikh and Hindu background. So when Stefan became involved with her family, he took his Shahada. But he was struggling to find his way as a Muslim and just beginning to get it together when this tragic incident happened.
All right, well, when we get back here on the Call to Freedom, here on LRN.FM, we're going to have more with Imam Zaid Shaker and this story of Stefan Clark and the funeral for this young man when we get back here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of
where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
You are listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We're broadcasting live from the VertCoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And you know what, guys, out there, these days it is almost impossible to keep your communications secure from the prying eyes of the government. You see, they can subpoena information from people like Telegram or Signal, or they can shut down servers and prevent you from being able to communicate altogether. That's where CryptVisor comes in. It's a new, decentralized, secured, blockchain-based communication platform. You see, CryptVisor doesn't ask for phone numbers, email addresses, or any other personal information. So if the government comes snooping around asking for information, they don't have any to give. And there is no centralized server because it's hosted on the blockchain. So if you're in a protest in Egypt and the government decides to shut down Signal's servers, well, that's not going to hurt you because there are no centralized servers to shut down. Go over right now. Check out CryptVisor at cryptvisor.network. You can look into their new advanced security features and the new CVPay crypto wallet. Again, that's CryptVisor.network. And now we're joined today by Imam Zaid Shakir of New Islamic Directions. He is, he's one of my personal favorite Islamic scholars, and at least contemporary Islamic scholars. He is sought after speaker all over the country, and he also happened to be sought out to perform the janazah, or the funeral rites, for the gentleman Stefan Clark. All of us heard about him. We discussed the story right here on our show about the young man who was basically he was shot to death, 20 bullets fired for walking around in his grandmother's yard, basically. The police claim it was because they thought he had a gun, but that gun, as so often turned out to simply be an iPhone. So we brought Imam Zaid Shakir on, and I want to kind of hand it over to him so he can give us, just kind of form a narrative for us. Go ahead, Imam Zaid. Hello? Did I lose Imam Zaid?
I think you did.
I think we did lose Imam Zaid. Huh. I don't know why.
That's unfortunate. I was really looking forward to hearing the take of someone who was on the ground in that.
I know. Hold on. What I'm going to do, I'm going to send him the phone number, 603-283-6160, and call the call-in line. And we'll get him on that way, because we're going to get him on, and we're going to cover this one way or the other. We've been having some audio issues throughout the show. I'm not really sure what this one is, or unfortunately, possibly could be on his end.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Oh, there we go. There he is. Awesome.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So, Imam Zaid, you were there for the funeral. Were you there for? Can you explain the importance? Because I heard Omar Suleiman made a post, or we covered this post, that the body was so damaged they couldn't perform the ghusl, the ceremonial wash. Could you explain
That's
the
right.
importance of that to the audience?
Yeah, I think if I could take the liberty of,
Please do.
Pun intended. If I could take the liberty of touching on something you mentioned earlier, and that's the impact of this on his family. His family is devastated by this. I think a lot of people saw his brother, Stavante, really, for lack of a better word, acting out. And in some quarters, he was ridiculed and mocked for his behavior. But I think it's very important, as his sister pointed out a few days later, that this is the impact of trauma. Like, we don't know how, first of all, mourning, grieving, and trauma on top of that is going to affect someone. His older brother was killed at the age of 16 in a shotgun accident, accidentally killed. It was very traumatic. Now his younger brother is killed, and it's very difficult for some people to handle that sort of loss, especially at a young age, when you're still, in some instances, trying to make sense out of life itself. So I think it's very important for us to understand from a human perspective that when these killings happen, that families are affected, families are torn apart, families and individuals are traumatized in many instances in ways that only those who've experienced similar sort of losses can understand. So his family has been traumatized by this. His mother, his grandmother especially, who played a big part in his upbringing, has been devastated, especially being right there, hearing the shots inside of the house, which isn't a very big house. So it wasn't like she was in some remote part of the house. She could hear all of this transpiring right outside of her door. So there's a lot of trauma and a lot of pain that the family and the community itself is going through, because unfortunately in Sacramento, as is the case in many other parts of the country, this is not a novel, unique, or isolated case. So I think it's very important to touch on that. In terms of some of the things you mentioned, and I just want to preface the remarks I'll make now by saying there's no way, shape, or form I or anyone I know is implying that Stephon Clark was killed because he was a Muslim. He was killed because he was a black man in a black neighborhood. And for whatever reasons, if you happen to be a black man in America, unarmed, you're 4 times more likely to be fatally shot by a peace officer. So I think it's very important for us to understand that, and to understand I'm not trying to say that he was a Muslim and therefore he was shot because he was a Muslim. No, I'm not trying to imply that at all.
I think that's the nicest way police officers have ever been referenced on this radio show in the entirety that it's been on the air. He said peace officer, and the hairs on the back of my neck stood up a little bit.
Well, that was I chose that term intentionally because obviously there's a lot of peace that's not being kept.
Very true.
By officers of the law.
Well, so when we get back, we're going to get into that. We're going to be hearing a whole lot more from Imam Zaid Shaker, and your calls as well, 603-283-6160. Stick around for the Call to Freedom.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's AgristHosting.com.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
Thomas the Tank Engine says he's a little uneasy with his broad autistic following, and a couple has a nest egg of debt to make sure they've got some money to owe down the road. This is the Onion Week in Review. Local video editor James Korf told reporters Wednesday that despite having said goodbye over 10 minutes ago, his friend, Michael Woodward, still remained active on GChat and had shown no signs of leaving.
If it were yellow, it would mean that he hasn't been on the computer for a little while, or if it was red, it would mean he doesn't want to talk, but it's green. I can tell. I can see it right there.
Korf later said that he felt briefly relieved when Woodward's chat logo turned orange, but was once again dejected when it became green within seconds. And in this week's op-ed pages, a high school guidance counselor laments the fact that no one in his entire damn school has been molested. In other news, a bedbug feels bad for an area man, but a bug's gotta eat. A development exec wants to see what, where, and how that would look, live, and play out. And a man at the gym is just watching TV. For more, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
This is the Onion News Network.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We're broadcasting live from the VertCoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And I'm joined today live via remote by my classic crew, Mr. Tom Gray, broadcasting from East Tennessee. He's our legal beagle. And then we've got Miss Aria DeMezzo, the queen of crypto herself, from Mississippi, and cryptocurrencycheck.org. And we've got a very special guest. He's been on the show for, if you guys are long-time listeners, you listened to us back in the day when we were a late-night Sunday show, kind of tucked up around the 10 o'clock to midnight hour. We had Imam Zaid on a couple of times to discuss, just a number of things. And I found out that he officiated the Stephen Clark funeral, which was a story that we covered. You can see if you're watching on Twitch, the badges don't grant extra rights. That banner is older than Black Lives Matter, literally. That banner was more than likely made in 2012, a year before people had ever heard of Trayvon Martin. So police accountability has been a passion of mine personally and of the folks behind the LRN.FM here. And Free Talk Live, our parent show that comes on after us in just about a half an hour from now. Police accountability has always been a big subject for us. We've been talking about it for years and years. And to see someone who was so closely connected to a story that everybody that listens to our show and the other shows on LRN has heard about, I had to take the opportunity to bring that more personal, and like Imam Zaid was telling us before we went to the break about how this has been just absolutely traumatic for the family. The older brother actually being arrested, a story just came across the wire, KCRA Sacramento, I'm going to say, let's see here, 2:19 p.m., so just a few hours ago. One of the brothers was arrested, and it says here, I guess he was calling 911 and harassing, a misdemeanor of calling 911 with intent to annoy or harass. So
intent to annoy. He was arrested for being annoying. Literally.
Yes, arrested for being annoying. Yeah, you can.
after they executed his brother.
For real, you can shoot a 12-year-old black kid in the back of the head and not get arrested for it. But if you call 911 in an annoying manner, then we'll definitely throw some handcuffs on you and give you a one-way ride to a rape cage.
Just sick.
Welcome to America 2018, folks. But you know what? In all honesty, we have to really be truthful. This was America 2010. It really was. Nothing's really changed so much as more people are outraged about things that were happening in the 90s. Rodney King was not like something that was just an anomaly. This is a normal thing. This has been going on as long as police departments have existed. And we're just now getting to the point where people are outraged enough about it to what? Riot? I mean, it just... call people and annoy 911? I mean, come on. You just put 8 bullets in a man's brother, and the worst thing that he does back in retaliation to you is make an annoying phone call? I mean, come on, folks. Let's look at this from a true perspective. The fact that he was ever arrested at all. I don't believe 40 years ago, I don't think a grieving family member who called 911 to be like, you people killed my brother, I don't believe that they would have been arrested. But now, you know, we got to keep those jails full, got to keep that income coming in. Anyway, I want to give it back to Imam Zaid Shaker because you guys hear me rant on about this stuff all the time. And he has, you know, a much more reasoned tone, first of all, and a much more personal connection. Go ahead, Imam Zaid. Hello? We having microphone issues again? Tom, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Awesome. So
I'm sure we'll get Imam Zaid back in just a moment.
Yeah, it's probably a microphone issue. So yeah,
I think
we've got
Will. While we're waiting on him to get back, could you, as a Muslim man, talk a little bit about the importance of the funeral rites and exactly the significance of what Imam Zaid will be telling us about when it comes to the state of Stephen Clark's body?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. There you go, right on cue.
Yeah, for some reason during the break, my mic is muting itself.
Huh.
But I think that Will raised some good points in what his self-described rant. And one is the need for us to begin organizing to push for a different set of policies in terms of how we police communities in general, and specifically how we police the African-American community, where there has been a history of a lot of tension and justifiable tension between the police and the community. But in general, I think we need a totally different set of policies, and they have to be based on seeing each other as human beings and respecting the rights and freedoms that we have as human beings, natural rights, if you will. Because I firmly believe, number one, if there were different policies that set forth different rules for engagement, and that it was made clear in the policy that if a peace officer violates that policy, he or she will be held accountable legally, not based on the conclusion of a grand jury, not based on the determination of their superiors, not based on the lobbying power of the Police Benevolent Association, but based on law that's been approved beforehand, that these are the rules of engagement. If you violate these rules of engagement, which are clearly stated and articulated, there will be legal consequences. Not maybe, not if the grand jury determines it, there will be legal consequences, and that is the law. I think it is also very important for us to put forward, and I commend the Call to Freedom for putting forward ideas that promote understanding between not just races, but between different demographics within our population. I think we're what has been described, this country, as a supergroup. There are many different ethnic, racial, socioeconomic backgrounds. There are many different historical narratives that come together in this place. And we have to begin to see each other, whatever our race, our ethnicity, our socioeconomic status might be, as human beings. And I firmly believe, and I think everyone listening will agree with me, if those policemen saw Stephen Clark as their brother in humanity, and they have a human attachment and a respect at a human level for him that they have for their own child, if their own child was in their grandmother's backyard, for whatever reason, however he got there, they would think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times before they pulled the trigger. They would ascertain that indeed he's facing them with a gun and not with his back turned to them with a cell phone. So we have to begin to see each other as human beings and to love each other as our brothers and sisters in humanity. Otherwise, this nonsense will continue. We need new policies and we need new attitudes.
Amen.
That's what we need to begin to address this issue.
Amen. Now, do you have a question for Imam Zaid Shaker? Give us a call, 603-283-6160. We'll be right back here on the Call to Freedom.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience. The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
Hey guys, Mark Claire here, lionsofliberty.com, where we strive to advance the ideas of liberty daily. We bring you the Morning Roar. That's right, every Monday to Friday we'll have a brand new edition of the Morning Roar, where we provide a roundup of some news stories that you may not find in the mainstream media or even in your typical social media newsfeed. We find stories that relate to the ideas of liberty and provide you with our liberty perspective on them. Every Monday, we have our longest running feature, Mondays with Murray, named after the great libertarian Murray Rothbard, where we'll examine an article or an excerpt from his works and help convey his view, along with our little spin as well. We wrap it all up every Friday with Felony Friday, where our own John Odermatt goes out and takes a look at some sort of felony. There's felonies committed every day, you know, whether it's a felony committed by the police, a politician, or even an average citizen. You can find all of this and so much more over at lionsofliberty.com, advancing the ideas of liberty daily.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.FM.
The head, you'll get a 10-day paid vacation. Because offending and saying something hurtful like our culture will absolutely go bananas and drive you out of your position. But if you just shot the kid, I mean, you know, he's just a dead body. It's no big deal, you know. And
well, I think, and then that's become selective. I think the offense barometer, if you will, has a different standard when it's directed towards so-called minorities. And so with Jews being the top of that list, and then I think maybe the LGBTQ crowd has surpassed African Americans and then African Americans. But if you insult a white male, then there'll probably be very little consequences. You call him a patriarchal redneck cracker and say, oh, well, you were just engaging in your postmodern sensitivities, and it's okay because white males they're the dominant hegemonic patriarchal force that's gotten us into this mess, so you can insult them at will.
Says Will. One thing that I've noticed, I think the Starbucks thing is also just another example of this problem that I'm seeing in our culture, and it's that, you know, like when the same latte liberal crowd that's out there saying like Starbucks should literally just be shut down. 3 years ago, when it got out,
so we're not on the air right now, are we?
We are now.
So what we're saying now is being broadcast?
Yes, what we're saying now is being broadcast.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, no. Of about
it wasn't
a minute
before.
ago. It wasn't before.
Yeah.
It is now.
Okay, so now it is.
So
okay,
basically, what I think is one of these problems that I've talked about here on the air all the time, and we're joined right now by Imam Zaid Shaker. We've been talking about the Stephon Clark killing. The Starbucks thing, I think, kind of is another example of the whole my whole thesis that like words are now more important than literally like blood in the streets. That like latte liberal crowd that was saying like, look, you shouldn't boycott Starbucks because they fund the Israeli occupation, because it's not actually Starbucks that funds the occupation. It's the CEO who wouldn't have any money if you didn't shop at Starbucks. And he does it. So don't boycott. So like the funding of the occupation of Arab lands and the subjugation of brown children, that's really not a reason to be like up in the arms and like, you know, literally blood in the streets. That's not a reason to get particularly angry. We're not going to protest over that. You shouldn't boycott that. But somebody said something racially insensitive. Well, now that we need to put this company out of business, they need to go. There needs to be all of these things. And to me, it's just, it's like priorities are upside down. If you give $10 million to fund settlements in Palestine, the latte liberals will give you a free pass on that because like there's a special area carved out where you're not allowed to be outraged about that. And it's like there's only certain things that we're allowed or we're supposed to be angry about. And, you know, if Obama drops 20,000 tons of bombs a year while he's in office, don't be mad about that. But be mad about this other thing because somebody said something that was mean. And to me, it's just like our culture's kind of gone upside down, where like if you use a racial epithet as a police officer, you will lose your job. But if you shoot an unarmed black man, you're just going to get a paid vacation. So to me, it's like our whole culture has completely lost its mind.
Well, I think the thing that we need to do is we need to get back to viewing things through an objective lens. And of course, there are always going to be prejudices, because human beings tend to be prejudiced in many instances. But unless we strive to establish egalitarian standards and to see things as they are, we won't be able to. And I think this is one of the ways that people are controlled, and that our potential power is undermined. Whenever there's been a serious transracial coalition in this country, it's been undermined, systematically undermined. So I think is the populist movement at the late 19th century, just a number of movements. So if we go back to the police killings, like as I said, if you're unarmed and an African American citizen, you're 4 times more likely to be shot by the police.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in another situation, you're 2.5 times more likely to be shot by police if you're an African American. But in real numbers, more white folks are shot by police, over twice as many, or about twice as many, as African Americans.
Yeah.
But we never see that on television. And one of the reasons I think we don't see that is because you then have white folks realizing that this is not just a black problem that I could turn my back to or just shoo away.
Yes.
That our people, if you will, are suffering the same thing. That being the case, it behooves us to come together to form a unified front to address this issue. And I think the way that we're speaking, hopefully off the mic, about the opioid crisis, in terms of now that a lot of suburban and rural white folks, young white folks, are dying 100 a day from opioid and opium overdoses. It's no longer a criminal problem. It's not a problem that requires a war on. It's a public health problem. It's a psychiatric problem. Yeah. It's a problem that needs therapeutic intervention. It's a medical problem that requires more anti-overdose drugs. It's no longer a criminal problem that requires a war on drugs.
But that's the way it's always been. When it was gay people dying of AIDS, nobody cared. When it was white suburban housewives that were standing over their kids' caskets, suddenly, like all of a sudden, Ronald Reagan is declaring a national health crisis. When it was black communities being ravaged by the crack epidemic, nobody cared. All of a sudden, you've got some white helicopter mom talking about, oh, I found my kid slumped over in blue in his bedroom. Well, now suddenly crack is something. We got the war, a revived war on drugs.
And so this is my point, that we have to see these as through the same lens, whether it's black folks ODing, which isn't as common as white folks ODing, but whether it's white folks ODing, black folks being shot by the cops, white folks being shot by the cops, we have to see these as problems that are alike in kind. There might be specific ways they articulate themselves in our society amongst certain demographics, but there are problems. So police killings, bad policies, bad policing, and a very poor understanding of what our proper relationship with each other at a human level should be. And so we have to look at it from that lens. Bad policy, bad policing that articulates itself in different ways in different communities, but we have to come together to address the core issue: bad policies, bad policing, bad attitudes. The opioid/opium crisis, the same thing. That we have. Why does the emptiness exist in the life of our young people, that they need to resort to some sort of drug to fill that void in their soul? Why is that happening? Why is it happening in black communities or white communities or brown communities? So the fundamental issue is addressing that void in the soul.
Every community has desperation and that void right now, and they're all filling it with something.
And so we have to put something out there better for them to fill it with. And we have to, in terms of addressing it at the level of public policy, institute universal policies that can direct it that can address the issue as it exists in all communities. And again, there'll be nuances, complexities, unique situations that are distinct to various demographics, but at the root of it, it's the same problem.
Absolutely.
No matter how you slice it.
Very exactly. Now, we've been joined today by Imam Zaid Shaker. If you want to learn more about the work that he does, go over to newislamicdirections.com or just go on YouTube, look up Imam Zaid Shaker, watch the videos that he does. He gives great speeches. It's always a pleasure to have you with us, Imam Zaid. Thank you so much, Jazakallah khair, for being with us and giving us an opportunity to bring your voice to, our new, now bigger national radio audience. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you again. All right, now don't go anywhere, guys. Free Talk Live is coming up next.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply.